Speaking test instructions. The speaking test is 20 minutes. There are 8 tasks in the speaking test. Please try your best to answer all the questions.
Start speaking now. Time is up. 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 Start speaking now. Time is up.
Sophia, I understand you're feeling uncertain about this international job opportunity. And it's completely natural to have concerns about such a significant life change. Nevertheless, this could be an incredible opportunity for both personal and professional growth that may not come around again. First and foremost, regarding the language barrier, remember that many people successfully relocate to countries where they don't initially speak the local language. Furthermore, immersion is actually one of the most effective ways to learn a new language quickly. Additionally, most international companies that recruit foreign employees provide language support and typically conduct business in English or other common languages. Moreover, many expatriate communities exist in major cities worldwide, offering support networks for newcomers navigating similar challenges. From a career perspective, international experience is increasingly valuable in today's global economy. Employers highly regard candidates with cross-cultural competence and adaptability. Consequently, this opportunity could significantly enhance your resume and open doors to future positions that wouldn't otherwise be available. Additionally, living abroad develops problem-solving skills, independence, and cultural awareness that benefit you throughout life. While the adjustment period will certainly present challenges, consider the regret you might feel if you don't pursue this opportunity due to fear of the unknown. Most people who take international assignments report that the experience exceeded their expectations and provided invaluable personal growth. Furthermore, if things don't work out as planned, you can always return home with new skills, experiences, and perspectives. My advice would be to thoroughly research the destination, connect with others who've made similar moves, and seriously consider accepting this adventure. The potential rewards far outweigh the temporary discomfort of adjustment. 2 years ago, I experienced a major disruption when my company suddenly transitioned to a fully remote work model. Having worked in traditional office environments for over 8 years, this represented a fundamental change to my daily structure and professional interactions. Initially, the adjustment was quite challenging, as I had built my productivity around the social energy and physical separation that office life provided. Furthermore, I struggled with establishing boundaries between work and personal life when both were happening in the same physical space. Additionally, the informal conversations and spontaneous collaborations that had always energized my work were suddenly absent. To handle this transition, I adopted several deliberate strategies. First, I created a dedicated workspace in my home and established strict working hours to maintain psychological boundaries. Moreover, I invested in proper lighting and ergonomic furniture to replicate the professional environment I was accustomed to. I also proactively scheduled virtual coffee breaks with colleagues to preserve the social connections that had been so important to my job satisfaction. Consequently, I gradually developed new routines that incorporated the benefits of remote work while addressing its challenges. The experience taught me valuable lessons about adaptability and self-management. Most importantly, I discovered that I could be equally productive in different environments when I approached change strategically rather than reactively. Additionally, I learned to appreciate the flexibility and reduced commute time that remote work offered. This major adjustment ultimately enhanced my confidence in handling future changes and expanded my understanding of what constitutes an effective work environment. The key was remaining open to finding new ways to achieve the same goals rather than resisting the change entirely. This image shows a lively and organized urban street scene. To begin with, a family of 5 is crossing the street at a crosswalk. The parents are walking hand in hand with their children, which suggests they are likely out for a casual stroll. Meanwhile, on the left side of the image, a red car is stopped, presumably obeying the traffic light. In addition, a yellow school bus is visible in the background, indicating that this might be near a school zone or a community area. Moreover, several cyclists are present. One adult is riding past the storefronts, and a child wearing a helmet is biking across the crosswalk. This implies the area promotes both pedestrian and bicycle safety. Furthermore, in the background, we can see a woman near a bookstore and another person about to enter it, which adds to the neighborhood feel of the scene. All in all, this image portrays a safe, friendly, and active community environment where various modes of transportation coexist peacefully. Initially, the family crossing the street will safely reach the opposite sidewalk, whereas the yellow bus will continue its route through the intersection once they've completely crossed. Subsequently, the traffic light will change from green to yellow and eventually red, while simultaneously, the waiting vehicles will begin moving forward when given the right of way. Meanwhile, the cyclists on both sides of the street will presumably continue pedaling along their designated paths, and consequently, might stop at the bookstore or other local shops for their errands. Furthermore, the family will likely proceed to their intended destination, whether it's the nearby bookstore or another establishment in this charming downtown area. Despite the busy urban environment, all road users appear to be following traffic rules responsibly. Nevertheless, the cyclists will remain vigilant for opening car doors or pedestrians stepping into bike lanes. In addition, other pedestrians visible in the background will undoubtedly continue their shopping activities along the sidewalks. In conclusion, this well-organized intersection will maintain its smooth traffic flow, thereby demonstrating how proper urban planning facilitates safe coexistence between vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians in a bustling city center. Michelle, I understand you're considering the restaurant party package, but I strongly believe hosting a backyard party at home would create a much more meaningful and memorable celebration for Tommy's birthday. First and foremost, a home party allows us to personalize every aspect of the celebration according to Tommy's specific interests and preferences. Unlike the predetermined activities and generic decorations at a restaurant, we can create themed decorations, organize games he actually enjoys, and invite exactly the people who matter most to him. Furthermore, the intimate setting of our backyard enables more genuine connections between families and creates opportunities for both children and parents to interact naturally. Additionally, the cost savings are substantial. We could invest in higher quality party favors, a special custom cake, or even save money for Tommy's other birthday wishes instead of paying premium prices for a standardized restaurant experience. Moreover, hosting at home eliminates the stress of time restrictions that restaurants typically impose. We won't need to rush through activities or worry about extending the party if everyone is having a wonderful time. Although weather could potentially be a concern, we have contingency plans with our covered patio and the ability to move activities indoors if necessary. The restaurant option, while convenient, lacks the personal touch and warmth that makes childhood birthday memories truly special. Consequently, our guests would feel more relaxed and welcome in our familiar environment rather than feeling constrained by restaurant rules and limited space. When Tommy looks back on this birthday in years to come, wouldn't you prefer he remembers the love and effort we put into creating something special just for him rather than a generic commercial experience? Michelle, while I appreciate the personal touch of a backyard party, I believe the indoor play center would provide Tommy with a far more exciting and stress-free birthday celebration. First and foremost, professional play centers are specifically designed to entertain children of Tommy's age group with equipment and activities that we simply cannot replicate in our backyard. The specialized playground structures, ball pits, and organized games will keep all the children fully engaged throughout the entire party duration. Furthermore, the climate-controlled environment eliminates any concerns about weather disrupting our plans, which is particularly important since we're planning this party during an unpredictable season. Additionally, the professional staff at these venues are experienced in managing children's parties and can handle activities, safety supervision, and even minor conflicts that might arise among the kids. Moreover, the cleanup is completely handled by the facility staff, allowing us to actually enjoy the party and focus on Tommy rather than worrying about managing logistics, serving food, and cleaning up afterward. Although the restaurant option might seem convenient, it lacks the active entertainment that energetic children need and typically restricts movement and noise levels. Despite the higher cost of the play center, consider the value we receive: professional entertainment, no preparation stress, guaranteed weather protection, and the ability to simply show up and celebrate. The party packages often include everything from decorations to cake service, ensuring a polished experience that our guests will remember positively. Consequently, we'll all feel more relaxed and able to focus on celebrating Tommy's special day rather than managing the countless details that home parties require. Don't you think Tommy deserves a celebration where we can be fully present and enjoy watching him have the time of his life? Hello, Mrs. Patterson. This is David calling. First and foremost, I want to sincerely apologize for a serious mistake I made regarding your plants while you've been away. I'm calling because I believe honesty is always the best policy, even when it's difficult. Unfortunately, I completely forgot to water your plants for the first 3 days after you left. And when I finally checked on them yesterday, several of your beautiful plants appear to be in very poor condition. Furthermore, I feel terrible about this oversight, especially knowing how much you care for your garden and how much you trusted me with this responsibility. I take full responsibility for this mistake, and there are no excuses for my forgetfulness. Additionally, I want to make this right immediately. I'm prepared to replace any plants that cannot be recovered, and I'll cover all associated costs without question. Moreover, I've been researching the specific types of plants that seem most affected to ensure I can find suitable replacements that match what you had. I understand that some of these plants may have had sentimental value or taken years to establish, which cannot truly be replaced. But I want to do everything possible to restore your garden. Consequently, I plan to visit the nursery this afternoon to begin the replacement process. I'm hoping that with immediate care, some of the plants might still recover. But I don't want to take any chances or give you false hope. I'm deeply sorry for disappointing you and for not living up to the trust you placed in me. When you return tomorrow, I'll be ready to discuss how we can best address this situation. I need to act quickly to try to save these plants before Mrs. Patterson returns tomorrow. First and foremost, I'll assess each plant individually to determine which ones might still be salvageable with immediate intervention. For the plants that appear merely wilted rather than completely dried out, there's still hope if I provide proper care right away. Furthermore, I'll give them a thorough but careful watering, ensuring the soil is moist but not waterlogged, which could cause additional damage to already stressed root systems. Additionally, I'll move any sun-stressed plants to shadier locations and remove any completely dead foliage to help the plants focus their energy on recovery. Moreover, I'll research quick recovery techniques online and possibly visit the local nursery for professional advice on emergency plant care. If some plants show signs of improvement over the next 24 hours, they might recover enough to appear healthy when Mrs. Patterson returns. However, I need to be realistic about which plants are beyond saving. For those that cannot be revived, I'll quietly replace them with similar specimens from the nursery, ensuring they match as closely as possible in size and type. Consequently, if Mrs. Patterson notices any differences, I can explain that I provided extra care while she was away, which might account for slight changes in appearance. Nevertheless, if she specifically asks about the plant's condition or if my rescue efforts are clearly unsuccessful, I'll be honest about what happened. This approach gives the plants the best chance of survival while also preparing me to take responsibility if the damage is irreparable. My goal is to minimize the harm caused by my initial mistake while being prepared to confess if necessary. I believe social media platforms should implement identity verification, though this should be balanced with legitimate privacy concerns and implemented thoughtfully. First and foremost, requiring real name verification would significantly reduce harmful behaviors like cyberbullying, harassment, and the spread of misinformation. When people are accountable for their online actions through verified identities, they're much more likely to engage respectfully and responsibly. Furthermore, verified identities would help combat the proliferation of fake accounts, bots, and coordinated inauthentic behavior that currently manipulates public discourse and elections. Additionally, identity verification would enhance trust in online interactions, particularly for business transactions, dating platforms, and professional networking where authentic identity is crucial for safety and reliability. Moreover, this system would provide better protection for public figures, journalists, and activists who currently face threats from anonymous accounts that cannot be traced or held accountable. Nevertheless, I recognize that complete real name requirements could endanger vulnerable populations who rely on anonymity for legitimate reasons. Political dissidents, whistleblowers, abuse survivors, and LGBTQ+ individuals in hostile environments may need pseudonymous accounts for their safety and well-being. Therefore, the ideal approach might involve tiered verification systems where certain features require verified identities while preserving options for anonymous participation in appropriate contexts. Additionally, platforms could implement verified badges for users who choose identity confirmation while allowing unverified accounts with limited privileges. The key is finding a balance that reduces harmful anonymous behavior while protecting legitimate privacy needs. Consequently, rather than blanket real name requirements, platforms should develop nuanced policies that promote accountability while preserving digital spaces for vulnerable populations who need them most. This approach would enhance online safety and trust while maintaining the Internet's potential as a platform for free expression and democratic participation. Emma, you won't believe what I just encountered during my morning walk in Riverside Park. I spotted the most extraordinary bicycle that immediately made me think of you. Especially since your birthday is coming up next month. Picture this. Instead of a traditional frame, this incredible bike features a massive orange circular loop that extends high above the rider's head, creating this amazing sculptural effect. What makes it even more fascinating is that there are several additional bicycle wheels mounted on top of this circular frame, giving it this incredibly artistic and futuristic appearance. Despite its unconventional design, I watched a young boy riding it effortlessly, which proves it's not just a piece of art but a fully functional bicycle. Given your love for unique things and how you always want to stand out from the crowd, I genuinely believe this would be the perfect birthday gift for you. Not only would it satisfy your passion for cycling, but it would also reflect your creative personality and artistic taste. Furthermore, considering how much attention this bike was attracting from everyone who passed by, I can already imagine how proud you'd feel riding something so distinctive around the neighborhood. The combination of functionality and artistic design makes this bicycle absolutely one of a kind. And honestly, I've never seen anything remotely similar in any bike shop. What do you think about asking your parents to look into getting something like this for your special day?